This is Ern Tit's guide to the UK and the coronavirus. Let's go. The coronavirus caused a pandemic, which means it hit everywhere, including the UK. Some countries have kind of been able to handle it and are really trying their best to minimize the suffering and destruction. And then there's the UK. Here's a little background. First up, we went for herd immunity. Boris Johnson was nobly willing to sacrifice our old and vulnerable, because he probably didn't realise that included him. And then he got it. Never should have left the fridge. Never forget the fridge. So now we've been put on lockdown, and everybody has to stay in their homes. Apart from all of the flights that come in. You don't get checked over, or the temperature's taken, or put into quarantine before they just get on public transport home. Oh, and all the workers that are still going to their non-essential jobs. But remember, it's your neighbour's fault for going to the park yesterday, and it's them who's responsible for everybody who's ill and dying today, even though we wouldn't actually see the results of their actions until like 2 to 3 weeks. Because then that would mean that everything that we're seeing now is actually a result of the government being really slow and just bad at their jobs. But keep those videos up. Even if you have to go to the park yourself and get real close, get that footage. And don't look up. Blame your neighbour. And then rally all of your neighbours together to raise some money for the NHS, even though it's not a charity. And we already pay for it ourselves. And while other countries are sending out masks to every individual in their homes, our frontline workers still don't have them. They don't even have masks. They just don't have them. But some might get badges. Badges. Woo woo woo! Well, the NHS workers at least. Because remember, it's actually only NHS workers who put their lives on the line. Not bus drivers, or tube drivers, or supermarket workers, or people who work in the post office. Oh yeah, those people too are dying at an extraordinary rate. But if we just keep chanting, save the NHS, save the NHS, save the NHS, and that stuff might just drown out. And if you can't chant because your throat is a little bit sore, in which case just stay home and hope for the best, because you're not getting a test. Then just clap. And just keep clapping. Just keep on clapping, because the worst is yet to come. But luckily our trusty Prime Minister is leading us into this war. Even though it's not a war, it's a virus all around the world. But if we say it's a war, then our leader looks real good trying to fight it. And also it just really taps into that old-timey sense of Britishness that everybody knows and loves. You know, when they were so great and they won all the wars and there weren't so many damned immigrants. You know, just good white British nurses and doctors saving everybody's lives. If we call them heroes, then they're just part of the sacrifice. Even though in reality they're just people doing their jobs, just not really being paid for it. Happy clapping!